Hey everyone, how are you doing? Hi.
There's so many Lisas.
I know. We have the best Lisas around though. Yeah. The best Lisas.
All right. So who's here? So we got Ryan, we have Rochelle, we have Lisa, and Stacy.
All the Lisas.
I'm Lisa Lee Loving.
Yes.
Nice.
I love her. She's fantastic.
And I'm going to check your YouTube and see if it's
actually live. It's going. I see that it's going. We have one person watching on the live stream. Ooh, 2 people watching on the live stream on the YouTube side. Hi, YouTube. Comment in the thing so I can know who's here.
Did you guys read the book? Did everybody read? I should have put a poll.
Yes. Did everybody read Checked Out by Elizabeth Spann Craig? Has everybody read the book?
Ryan, yes. That was honestly a challenge just to spell her name.
She has a very long name.
Yeah. For some reason, I was like, is it Elizabeth Craig Spann? Elizabeth Spann Craig? I was starting to get confused.
Mm-hmm. We've got Ellen Wargang on YouTube, and she said yes, she has read the book.
Awesome.
Ooh, we've got people who loved it. Yes.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if you can see this. So when I'm looking at it on Crowdcast, you're on the left and I'm on the right, and on YouTube it's the opposite.
Really? So like I'm watching me right now, and I see me on the left and you on the right.
Huh.
And then on YouTube, I'm on the right and you're on the left.
Maybe it's because I'm a visitor and you're the host.
Maybe. It's really weird.
I'm going to take a picture and send it to you. I'm fascinated by this.
Yes, it's like, why do they switch it? Why do they change it? Rochelle says she read the book and it was amazing. Stacy said yes and she loved it. Ryan loved the book. Let's see. We've got Angela. Hi, Angela, over on YouTube. Hi, Bunny. Hi, Book Diva. How are you guys? You're having issues?
Tech issues? All right.
Issues?
Yeah, I feel like we're good. Like everything's working.
Hopefully everything's working on our end and everything like that. So we're both streaming in both places and all of that fun stuff. So that's good.
So we could, as we're waiting for people to get here, I could start recapping the first half if you want.
Yeah, no, go right ahead.
All right. Also, let me know, like, so below, I keep doing the character list. I did it for the first Marigold book because there were like 50 characters in chapter 1 or something. And then afterwards, I found I actually really like it. I don't know if anybody else likes it. Let me know.
I love the character list. As I'm like trying to prepare for my cozy mystery, I actually created a character list, like sort of like a character appendix of like who everyone is. And like, it's just, yeah. So I like the list.
Perfect. So I read so it was funny. I don't know if you guys noticed, we were doing the chapter readings. I read chapter 1, which was like a novel by itself. And then Courtney's chapter 2 was like super short and sweet.
It was. I felt so bad. I was like, oh, it was so long.
Yeah. If I had known that, I totally would have switched beforehand because Courtney is the superior out loud reader. So that's what we should have done. So from now on, every chapter, if the chapter is like that again, we're totally switching.
Yeah. I've just had years of read alouds.
Yeah, I thought about that in the book when they were talking about how the librarian had to do a read aloud. And I was like, I feel like I'm getting hives. Like I had to do read alouds like in public for children.
All right. So you want to do the first half of the book?
Yeah. Okay. So the first half of the book, as you know, chapter 1 was super long. So if you didn't read it, I'll recap it really quick. It basically opens with the librarian and she is a good Samaritan. And these 2 little boys come in and they're like, there's a cat trapped in a culvert, which was a new word that I learned. Anyways,
I didn't know what that was either.
Oh, good. So it's basically just a ditch or a circle cylinder where water's flowing out into town. I guess if you were a civil engineer, you would know what a culvert is. Mm-hmm. So the cats were trapped in there. And so she goes in, she crawls in, she gets all dirty, and she rescues the cats. And one of them has a broken leg, and then they call the vet. So this is like a whole little cat side story, right? But it actually ends up tying back in later because the owner of the cat was killed in a car accident, which they think was an accident, but later they discover it is not. That is in Courtney's second half of the book.
Yes, but I love the fact that they did it in the first chapter. Like, how cool was that?
How crazy was it, though? I kept thinking, like, I don't know what, I thought when people die, like, someone takes the cats. They're not just running around. They didn't really explain that.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, but the name of the owner was Mrs. Elsie Brennan, and she was, like, apparently a super safe driver. But for some reason, and this was also odd, too, nobody knew the name of the cats. Like, you can super sleuth and find the murderer, but you can't find the name of two cats.
True.
They have names. I don't know. But again, it doesn't matter. Cats don't really care about names. So the protagonist, so the main character in the story is Anne, and Anne is a librarian, and she's like, she fits the whole stereotype. She's like super dedicated to being a librarian. This is her whole life. She works extra hours. She stays super late. She comes in extra early, and she is so overwhelmed with the library. She has no chance for a social life. Like, she doesn't even have friends, like girlfriends. So there's a funny scene where she runs into, I think her name's Teresa, her friend from college from years ago. And she's like, she's thinking to herself, I must make an effort to be social. So
hang out with her.
Yeah. So there's a cute neighbor, Grayson Phillips, and she's just kind of like, there's this hot guy down the street, but she's like too nervous to really flirt or talk to him. She has like a 2-second conversation with him, doesn't get his name. And then later she finds out he's dating her friend, Teresa, who is the old friend from college.
Right.
But let's get to the murder. So the main point of the story is that she was set up on a blind date, which is the whole reason I was like super excited to read this. And it's by some random librarian patron who is this murder victim's great aunt. And we really don't see the great aunt much, like, at all. And she goes to the date, which again, I would never go to somebody's house on a first date. That would be crazy town.
Yeah. No.
And if I did, I would bring Courtney, and I would bring her husband, and then I would bring her sister and her mom and everybody else with me. Like,
listen, yes.
And obviously it wasn't safe. She got there and he was murdered. So then Chief Burton, who's new in town, comes to question everybody. And then her sister, the victim's sister, drives by, Heather, and she ends up talking to her and then later investigating. And then as we go through, we're kind of following this side plot of the cats and who's going to take them, and a library patron takes them over. So you don't have to worry about the cats. One gets taken by a library patron, the one with the broken leg, and the other one stays at the library and hangs out. And sometimes Anne takes it home. So that's kind of it. And then we meet the new child librarian, who is named Luna, and the chief police. We think there's no romance subplot, first of all. So we think like maybe she'll like the chief. Doesn't like the chief because the chief has a crush on Luna. And then we see that she does hang out with a guy who is Nathan Richardson, who's her old college professor, but he's like a geriatric friend. So no love connection there. But he is possibly being charged with the murder because he had some bad investments. So the murder victim was an investment advisor, and this professor had lost a bunch of money. And because he was older, he was really upset because this was his retirement. So she wants to help prove him innocent because that's her professor who she sometimes hangs out with and has.
It's like a father that she didn't have.
Yeah, definitely. And they didn't explain, did I miss that? They don't explain at all what happened to the dad.
They don't explain at all what happened to the dad, but they explain what happened to the mom.
Yeah, the mom dies in a car accident. I'm surprised this woman even
No,
dropped.
the mom died.
Car accidents everywhere.
Was it a car accident or was she killed? I thought she was murdered, and the librarian had to. Maybe I'm totally missing but the librarian.
No, I think you're right. I think I'm wrong. I don't think it was.
Point out who the killer was.
Yes, she had nightmares because she had identified the killer. You're right.
Yeah. So, do you want me to take over?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So, she does find that her blind date is killed, and as she's like, sort of like, I'm going to go back a little bit because as she was waiting outside for the police to come and interview her, the the murder victim's sister comes up and is like, what's going on? What's happening? And she's like, well, I was on a blind date here and the guy who lived here died. And she's just like, that's my brother. And she sort of like a weird reaction, his sister does, about him being dead. Like, she doesn't look too mortified. She kind of looks sad, but not like real sad. So fast forward to, she's trying to clear Richard's name because he really is a good person, even though he kind of has a bad temper. And so she starts diving deeper into this guy's background. She realized that he was kind of a not so nice guy and did a lot of really shady dealings where he would invest people's money, but then it not be in the best, thought for whoever it was that he was doing that for. He had a really, really bad relationship with one woman. Did we say her name?
Sadie?
Yes. So no, not the library patron. The woman that he got fired at his job.
Yeah, that was his coworker, Mary Hughes.
Yes. So he got her basically fired. And so she starts to becoming a suspect because of how angry she is. So we've got Richard as a suspect, her as a suspect. Then we see him arguing, or what people start coming up with, like, yeah, I saw him arguing with the local doctor and having an all-out fight with him in the middle of the grocery store or a restaurant. And it just starts coming all together of who really did the killing. And it all tied back to, I love that it all tied back to the first chapter about that woman who died in a car accident and you're rescuing her cats. And it all ties into, the murder victim was following his ex through trying to figure out where she was going. She was driving really chaotically. And I guess she was a really bad driver, which little hints were dropped throughout the series or throughout the book. And she runs this old lady off of the road and he starts blackmailing her because he doesn't want to pay child support for his kid. He's just a not nice person. Yeah. I'm not mad that he died. But so the mother, his ex-girlfriend, is very, very worried, and she has a very protective mother. And that is who she tells Anne that you'd do anything for your child, and that she would do anything for her child, and she did, and that included murder.
So now you know the murderer. So just to recap, the victim is the slimy guy that she was supposed to go on a date with. And the murderer is the mother of the grandmother of his child.
Yes. So basically, who would have been his mother-in-law had he married the woman who loved him, even though he had really bad flaws. She killed him because she wanted, and the thing is that the daughter,
There's a second murder. Did you mention that already?
Oh, no. So the coworker, Anne goes to go interview her again, and she finds her being killed she got hit in the back of the head, but was put in a suntan booth or a tan booth, and was killed at her employment. And it was just, yeah. So the grandmother's going to jail for double homicide, and then the daughter's going to jail for vehicular manslaughter. So then that little girl has to live without a mom and a grandma.
Yeah, both of them gone.
Yeah. Like, it's like gone. Bye. I was so sad.
Ryan, poor Mary was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, I don't know if I'd call her poor Mary because she saw the murder and then blackmailed them. So
his sister.
I feel like she had an option to call the police.
100%.
And not get murdered.
I love Lisa over here. She's like, he was not nice. Yes, he was slimy. 100%. Slimy, gross man that I did not like at all.
I don't understand why the library patron set her up with him, though. Like, this character seems like she would have zero interest in a guy like that at all.
Well, and the thing is that like the aunt was even had a hard time trying to find something nice to say about him.
Right.
Like,
but you want me to date him.
Like, yeah. Why are you trying to hook him up with someone that you actually like as a person?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just did not get it. But I really liked how everything was tied in. So now that we've done the recap, do you guys want to vote on, or not vote, but say what your star rating was, or your like 98% Rotten Tomatoes ish, whatever it is? Like, how did you rate the book?
How did you rate the book?
I rated it a 4 out of 5. I thought that it was a great, solid first book in a series, and I will 100% pick up the next book in the series.
Cool. Yeah, I'm really a 4.5 out of 5. I liked how everything tied together. She had a real reason to investigate. She wasn't just like, I must solve this because I just must. And I like that she was a good person. And I obviously love the cats. I love that the cat at the end. So at the very end, she's being held up by the grandmother. And the cat somehow can sense it, right? This is what we all wish. Mostly, like, probably the cat's just laying there, like, doing nothing. But
like, legit, like, my Cleo will probably be laying aside. Now, Tom thinks he's a dog, so I'm pretty sure he would try and protect me. But Cleo, she'd be like, nah, girl, you're on your own.
Yeah, exactly. So the cat knew that she was in trouble and actually saved her, like, attacked and, like, totally got the gun out and everything. It's kind of like, I don't know if anyone saw the movie John Wick 3.
Yes.
Did you? The dogs. Remember the dogs? Those attack dogs?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, 100%.
She was just like, I need help. She would just like yell for the dog. And then she would look to where she needed help. And the dog would disarm whoever had a gun.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what this cat did.
And I'm seeing that most people are giving it 4 stars.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I loved it. And the thing is I love that the cat got a home in the library. Like, he became a library cat, and you got to see like how much he was helping people and making them feel so much better by just like that one old man who he had lost his wife and he needed a routine. So he just came back to the library, but he didn't ever talk to Anne. But like, you can see like how much just animal love can change you and make you so much happier. I loved it so much.
Yeah, he was like the therapy cat, right? Like when you bring dogs around and stuff. Like the mom of the child librarian, Luna Macon's mom, she was the same one. She was like bitter and angry, but when the cat came by, she like petted it and was smiling. So yeah.
Because animals have the best in you. Like the high school, one of my schools that I work at is the high school. We have the biggest high school in this side of the state, but they have rescue dogs that come and walk our campus, and just they just pause and we'll let the high schoolers pet the dogs and like cuddle with the dogs for like an hour or two, and it's just amazing. It's just brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, everybody should have a pet.
They should. You'll get there. You're gonna have one.
4 stars. Ryan, it was just bad judgment on Mary's part, I guess. Yes, I would say blackmail is bad judgment.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
4 stars. I really like the cast. Ryan, I love the part. It was sad with Linus. Linus? Who is Linus? No. Oh, maybe the old man was named Linus, I think.
Lisa says that was a unique, wonderful part of the story. It was very different. Yeah, because a lot of places, they just automatically have the animal, and you don't get the backstory of how the animal came to be necessarily, but you felt like within the first chapter that you were automatically part of something that was a little bit more. And I really, really liked that.
Yeah.
And is this self-published?
Yeah, so she has published through other traditional publishers, but I guess she self-published this one. Yeah,
I was wondering, like, if you knew why she self-published with this one instead of the other one, because I looked her up, and she's published through, I think, Kensington before, and like everything.
Berkeley. Yeah, she's pretty prolific. I bet it's for money, because there's another author who's super has tons of books in romance, Lauren Lane, and she has them through Berkeley and like all these different publishers. And she published 2 books recently. She's like, I'm just doing an experiment and I'm going to self-publish this one romance book. And then she also self-published a young adult paranormal. And the only way you can get it is to buy it on her website. So I think people are just, I think what happens is they have so much, I shouldn't say so much money, but I don't know how much money they have, that they have a regular sort of job. Their day job is writing for the publishers. And I think doing this whole online self-publishing thing is like an experiment.
I like that. Maybe they're, because I've never tried to publish or anything like that, but maybe I don't know how the politics are with trying to publish through a regular publishing house. I wonder if it's harder. You might not, maybe they like put down your idea. Like they're like, no, that's not going to sell. And then maybe the author's like, I really do think it will sell. Watch it.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe that was
off Amazon shelves.
Yeah. Ryan, I'm going to do that with my novel, self-published. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, you get more freedom. So I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
I think either one.
Lisa says, I loved it. And then Anne got to take Fitz home when she needed a little loving care. I loved that she got to take him home for her own health and like mental just relaxation. That was so awesome.
I feel like she should just take him home every night. I think he would get lonely being in the library, like everybody's gone. It's deserted.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I mean, he's proven that he won't leave the library and like everything like that. But she might. I don't know. I feel like maybe in other books, he's more at her place a little bit more. Not that I don't want him to be a library cat, because I 100% do want him to be a library cat. But I feel like since she doesn't have that many friends and she doesn't go out very often, I feel like that would be good. Another thing that I noticed, and it just popped into my head, was she felt like a real person when it came to having to budget. Like, I mean, a lot of people budget, because she was like, oh, how much money do I have to go and eat out at this place?
Oh, right.
Like you could tell it made her feel more real when, not everybody's like flush with cash and can go and eat out at, 5 times a day and stuff like that. It just made it a little bit more realistic to me personally.
Although I was a little jealous when she was like, I just inherited the house from my aunt. I was like, oh, free rent.
Right? Yes, no, that was amazing. Oh, goodbye, Rebecca. She said that her internet is not
bye, Rebecca.
Bye, Rebecca. Hi, Trish. Taking him home every night and bringing him back each day. I think that's a good solid middle ground.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just like bring your pet to work with you every day. Most people have that.
I used to have that when I worked at my grandmother's cigar and bar supply shop. For the first 3 years, sorry, Willow's walking around. For the first 3 years of Willow's life, I brought her to work every day. And like,
it's a cat.
What?
Or a dog? Is Willow a cat or a dog?
No, Willow's a dog.
Oh, okay.
She's my white Pinkinese. Like the mailman loved her. He would bring treats for her. My customers loved her so much that they would bring treats for her. Like she was a spoiled puppy. Puppy. And then whenever,
did we just back up? Did you say cigar?
Yeah. So I ran my grandmother's cigar and bar supply store for over 10 years.
That's amazing. So are you like a cigar, like when people are on the cover of Cigar Aficionado, is that you?
No. See, what's funny is it's very, very like weird. I'm allergic to tobacco. Like
What?
It actually gives me hives and I get really itchy. But most of our cigars were wrapped in cellophane, and my grandmother started having me work there when I was about 11. And so I learned I could make you think that I smoked, because I could tell you the wrapper. I could tell you what kind of smoke it was going to be. I could tell you what it was made out of. People legit thought that I probably knew exactly what I was talking about, which I did because I listened to my grandmother talk about it. But me personally, I had no clue.
So you never smoke them?
I have smoked, I think, maybe 1 or 2. But then my lips got really tingly and kind of swollen. And then I was like, no, that's probably not for me.
That's funny. Is anybody else here a cigar smoker? Anyone?
Yeah, I know. We've got probably like tons of like people that are like, Courtney smoked a cigar. Yeah. Well, the thing is what was really, really cool is that the cigar world is not necessarily a world for women. We were the only female owned and ran humidor in this side of the country at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Your grandmother sounds awesome. What happened to the shop?
Well, so we got hit by the 2008 recession from all of the stuff. And then on top of that, we had a whole bunch of construction. They were widening the highway, which we were at a perfect spot right off the highway where people could come in. And because we were right next to a liquor store, so they could come in, they could get their liquor, and then they could get a cigar, and then they could leave. Well, with the recession and the highway, it hit us pretty bad, and so we had to close down.
Oh,
yeah, but she's happily retired. We got married in her backyard and everything like that. So it's fantastic.
Jennifer, I smoked one once and didn't know you weren't supposed to inhale. And I got so sick. Oh, you're not supposed to inhale?
No.
Oh.
No, you're not supposed to inhale.
Michelle and Ryan don't smoke. Never smoked.
We've got some over here on YouTube. My hubby occasionally does it, but that's it. Trish said, what a cool and interesting job.
It is.
And then Lisa says, Courtney, you're a Renaissance girl. I mean, I learned how to do all different kinds of just really cool things. Like, I don't know. It was just a cool and interesting job. I wonder if I could ever sort of take that job and put it into like use in like writing or something
For
like
sure.
that. Like, be like, no, this is a Monte Cristo. This is a torpedo Monte Cristo, and we're doing a V cut, not a regular cut. What are you talking about?
I could see an arson investigation, and you're the only one that can identify the end of the cigar.
Yes, brilliant, love it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. So Ben and I have this thing. So he does like smoking cigars once in a while. So we'll go over, and there's an ice cream place across the street. So we compromise. He gets a cigar, and then I'll get some ice cream, and we'll hang out.
Yeah.
But it's outdoors too, which makes it, I don't know if anyone's ever been at a humidor. When you're outdoors, it's not so bad. Like air is flowing versus indoor. It's basically just one big smoke puff.
We in Oklahoma, we didn't allow them to smoke in our humidor. And so everything was, our humidor was 250 square feet, and it was all cedar walls. It smelled like the most amazing, relaxing place in the whole entire world.
Nice.
It was beautiful. I know that we got into like a very weird conversation about cigars. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Brainstorming. Courtney, you're a Renaissance girl. Spelling is wrong. Trish, my life is so boring. Your life is not boring.
How's your face?
Lisa, your cozy would be set up in a cigar shop. I mean, it could be.
Yes, it totally could be. I could see like the murder next door at the liquor store.
Yep.
I know. I build all of these like cozies in my head. Anytime I go somewhere, like if I'm sitting there for too long, I start going like, so who would be murdered in this room? What would be the reason? How would it be done? Who would be the suspects? And then I start thinking, Courtney, you've read way too many mysteries and you've watched too many NCISs, and it's probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
You probably need to take a break.
Oh, so back to the story though, just really quick. I totally did not guess that it was going to be Sadie's mom, just because honestly, we didn't meet Sadie, and I'll tell you exactly when, because I have my notes. We didn't meet Sadie till chapter 10, and there were only 17 chapters in the book. So I did feel like that was maybe kind of unfair. Like I would have wanted to meet her maybe sooner.
Yeah.
But once we met her and then she started talking about the car accident, then it was like all coming together super fast.
Yeah. It was sort of like a snowball effect. Like it was like they're pushing the snowball up the hill, but it's taking a really long time. And then finally we get introduced to her, and then the snowball just starts rolling down the hill. And you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
But you shouldn't feel bad because honestly, we didn't meet the mom who was the murderer until chapter 13. So in theory, you really didn't have enough time to kind of piece it together yourself, I don't think.
No. Who did you think was going to be the murderer before that moment?
I thought it was going to be the sister.
See, I thought it was going to be the sister too. Like, I feel like she had the most motive to kill him.
And she had that waitressing job, so obviously she would want his house and his money. And she was struggling and she wanted help for her mom. So
yeah, we've got some people who say that they guessed that it would have been the doctor. And
the doctor seemed mean.
But to me, I didn't feel like the doctor had like that much of a, I don't know, like a reason to kill him. I'm like, yeah, he's going to tell about him being, you know, having an indiscretion and being a cheaty person. But it's not really enough to like kill someone because it was going to come out either way. The girl was crazy who he cheated on his wife with. Like she was going to let the wife know no matter what.
Yeah, I feel like he was going, the doctor, because he'd already done malpractice in another state. I feel like if he thought he was going, his cover was going to be blown, he'd just move again.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like he was 100% a non-violent kind of person. And that it was, if anything, it would have been, I was thinking either the sister or I was thinking his baby mama. I was thinking it might have been, Sadie. I was thinking it might have been her. Like she might have, because they talked about how like crazy her driving was and how she was raging when she drove. I was thinking maybe she just snapped and then killed him.
Yeah.
Because like,
although I did find it kind of like selfish. The grandmother was like, Sadie's mom was like, she picks the daughter up and then she picks me up and then she cooks for us and then she drives me home. I was like, why don't you drive yourself or take an Uber? Like this woman, if you really feel bad for her, don't make her drive you all around town.
Add something to it. No, I agree. Lisa says she did not guess the murderer either. And as Lisa said, she was introduced so late. She thought that it was the sister too. And then Ellen says that she thought her two choices were Sadie or the sister. And then Lisa says that she thought it was the sister because she thought that his sister was angry with how he ignored his sickly mother. That's what really gave me the cause to like really think that it was her, was the fact of like how angry she would have been. Sorry, my nose is running. It's so cold here, guys.
Do you have Kleenex? You can run off.
I don't have Kleenex. It's fine. It's fine. I won't die. It's fine. But I mean, I'd have been really, really ticked if my sibling didn't help with the medical bills, didn't help with at least going and seeing the mom during her chemotherapy. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be angry enough to kill, but I can see how someone who is working so many jobs and like working so hard might be so tired that she accidentally just breaks, gets mad and stabs him with the little, what was it, barbecue fork?
Yeah, a barbecue skewer. Like she just like a crime of passion. Like you're just caught up in the moment.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I do wish that the
you have siblings, don't you? You have a sister?
Go ahead.
You have a sister,
Actually,
right?
I have a little sister.
Yeah, so I feel like if you were annoyed with your sister for something she always does, like maybe she always slurps her tea when she drinks it, like you kind of just, you're still annoyed, but you've dulled yourself to the behavior. So I feel like his sister would, in theory, be just dulled to his like nonchalance and not caring about the mom.
Yes, like his selfishness. I feel like she was used to his selfishness in general, but then when it came to his mom just starting to be sick, it might have just snapped her.
I was surprised we didn't meet the mom.
Yes, I feel like that would have been where the sleuth would have maybe like gone to get like extra information
about her date. Like she could have gone and been like, I'm really sorry, and then tried to chat with her more about his life and everything.
Yeah. I feel like she would have too, but then I also know that it's really, really hard to introduce. I mean, she did introduce a lot of characters, and I feel if she would have introduced one more, unless they would have been seen as another red herring, maybe not introducing another person for the people to learn.
I think she did a good job with, like, when she introduced people who didn't matter, she never gave them a name. Like the woman that Mary worked with, she's like the coworker this, the coworker that. Like she never gave her a name, personality, description, or anything.
Which I kind of appreciated because then I'm like, because a lot of people, like when you name someone, you're like, oh, okay, they're going to be important at some point. Yes. I have to remember them.
Yeah.
Whereas the no names are sort of like, I'm a Star Trek person, like I'm a Trekkie. So I'm like, the no name people are like the red shirts in Star Trek. They're non-existent. They don't really matter. And if they, you know, die off screen, you don't really care because you're not invested in them because you don't even know their name.
Yeah. I love how she did that. I really coworker, even the veterinarian didn't get a name, which I appreciated too. I was like, clearly not important. So that was helpful.
And it's cool if in the second book, she finally gives the veterinarian a name. Like, that's okay with me if they're important to the story and just the plot in general. Like, that's totally fine with me. But a lot of names gets really, really confusing. I don't know. Do you guys like a whole bunch of names? And then, like, how do you guys like to be introduced to characters? Because I know NaNoWriMo's starting, and both Lisa and I are writing one. Like, do you like being introduced to characters all at once and, like, maybe having a character list at the front of the book? Or do you like it to be just like the small main group and then you only have enough for the red herrings to really like spice up the mystery? Like, how do you like your characters to be introduced? What about you, Lisa?
I would be happy with just 2 characters for the whole story. I like really good character development. And when you introduce too many people, I feel like I get confused and then like it's work and I don't want to work. You know what I mean? Like I just want to read a book and relax.
Yeah. Which is kind of opposite of what I'm doing for this new cozy. I have 4 protagonists.
What?
4 protagonists.
How are you going to keep those straight?
Oh, you should see my timelines. You should see it. It makes sense. I promise. It's fantastic. I love it.
It's like, it sounds like this movie, like Pretty Little Liars. There were 4.
Yes. Something like that. Think Golden Girls.
Golden Girls. Sex in the City, there were 4. 4 is a magical number.
It is. It is. So, Stacy says main group and that they don't have really similar names.
Yes.
I hate it when they have similar names.
Yeah, there's a rule of thumb that no name should start with the same letter.
Yes. Main group and a few extras. Too many names gets too confusing and complicated, says Jane. And then we've got some over on YouTube. It seems like the consensus is not a lot of names.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of. That's why I make those character lists. Like even the few names this one had, I couldn't keep track.
Yeah. I like what Lisa says. She says too many characters in a cozy makes it difficult for her to follow clues and put pieces together.
Yeah, then you don't feel like you're like helping to solve anything.
Yeah. Like I have a whole page of names for my cozy, but it's for me to know for later books in the series. Like I'm like, okay, so this is one main character. These are her children. I might use them later. I should build them now so that I know that they exist.
Right. Yep. Ryan, main group and a few extras. I think I'll do that for my cozy mystery. Yep. Rochelle said 10 characters.
10 characters. I like it.
We haven't had a book yet. So this one had 27. I can't remember. I think the other one had like 30 something. And the one before that had, I think, 60 something.
Yeah. No, that one had a lot.
Yeah. Ellen, I like a small group. From me to you, I am fine with giving names along the way as long as there is a reason for their relationship and we don't need explanations for each non-needed name. Yep.
Yeah.
Agree.
Totally agree.
Yep.
Totally agree. I liked how short and sweet this book was.
Yeah, and the only thing that I think was, and probably because it was so short, the only thing that was missing was there wasn't a lot of, I mean, I knew it was a small town, but the town didn't really have a personality, right? And maybe that's because everything was so like, we only interact at the library and that's it. And then when we go on lunch from the library.
and it made the library seem like it had its own personality. But I agree. I wish that it wouldn't have been so, like, because the main places that pop into my head when I think of this book are the library, her house, his house where he died, and the place where she went to eat, and the tanning salon. That was all that I got in my head.
That's all she did. But I guess maybe, I wonder if the author did that on purpose to be like, this is her tiny little world. And she never does anything. Like when that new librarian came in and she's like, what do you do for fun? And she's like, fun? I come into the library.
Yeah. And then Luna's like, oh girl, we need to help you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could see that. Like, you're just like antisocial and you're like, I just don't have time to be social because I work so much.
Yeah. I mean, I can get that too.
But the funny part is she was very social. She liked talking to patrons.
Yes. She knew everyone.
Yeah. But only if she had, I guess, a purpose or reason as the librarian to talk to them.
Yeah. I was just like, I want you to get out more, girl. Like, go to the park and read or something. Like,
yeah, I'm surprised, like, because it's such a small town, some of the patrons, maybe because they're all parents that we met, like, nobody really asked her to hang out or do anything.
Yeah. I feel like Luna's going to get her out of her shell a little bit more.
Yeah, hopefully.
Jane says, this may be weird, but can they be names that we can pronounce? Fantasy names really get confusing. I 100% understand that. Yes.
Michelle, maybe 10 is too small. No, I don't think so. I mean, there was that Agatha Christie book, and then there were none. 10 Little Indians.
Yep, very true.
10, and I did have trouble keeping them apart because there were 10 of them.
Hey, Sherry, thank you for coming.
Oh, wow, she just got here. Awesome.
Yeah. Hi.
Lisa, everything was centered around the library. I agree. Well, I love the library. I would like to have gotten more of a feel for the town. Yeah. I mean, maybe because it's so short, and then maybe we'll see in like the next book, like she'll start to explore or she'll meet somebody at a new location.
So what do you think about her relationship with cute neighbor boy? Do you think that that's going to be a thing?
Well, he's dating Trista.
I know.
Who I didn't get the sense that Trista was bad, but Luna came over and she was like, oh, I know how you feel. Yes. And I was like, well, she seems so nice. And like, I don't know that Anne really felt anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I want to watch that. See how it grows, or if it doesn't grow, or if it's just really weird.
Because I feel like Trista can't be all evil because in theory, she was Anne's friend in college. So Anne seems to be a good judge of character. So Trista's probably just going to, maybe their relationship will just have a natural ending and then she'll date the neighbor.
I hope it goes that way because I don't like the whole I'm going to steal my friend's boyfriend kind of.
Although there is that other rule too, that you can never date your friend's ex, even if they broke up just naturally.
True. Ryan thinks that she'll end up with him.
Maybe he has a brother and they can go on double dates.
That could totally be a thing. Maybe he has a twin brother.
Yeah.
Lou says, so do y'all take notes when you're reading a book with a lot of characters? I've never really thought about doing that until now. I know that Lisa does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't necessarily take a lot of notes. If I feel overwhelmed, then I kind of put the book down for a little while until I feel better, and then I can pick it up again.
Honestly, if I'm reading a mystery, I will probably do that because I like trying to sleuth things out. I remembered the first time I read a book with too many characters, it was reading Lolita in Tehran. And everyone had been talking about how fabulous this book was. And it was like New York Times and it was so popular. And in the beginning chapter, I met like, I don't know, there were like 20 women or something. And I was like, putting the book back on the shelf. So, and I remember thinking, I don't ever want to read a book with too many characters. And that was the first time that ever happened to me.
Yeah. I'm really good at like memorizing 30 kids in one day. I could memorize all of my students' names in one day. But I cannot for the life of me remember adults. Like, I don't know if it's like my mind just doesn't put too much importance onto like adults that I'm meeting during my workday. Because I'm not even joking. I work at 4 different schools this year. And I've met every single one of these teachers. It should be easy for me to remember their names. I can remember their subject matters and I can remember the grade they teach. Can I remember their name? No. Not at all.
That's interesting. I think it's because you just really love children and you're a kid person. And so I think I don't think you have to work to memorize their names. I think it just comes naturally.
I'm just like, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm like, to me, it's just easy to talk to kids, and then adults scare me.
Oh, no. I'm the total opposite of you. Kids scare me, but I am totally fine talking to adults.
Yeah, no. Because like with kids, if a kid was being like salty or hateful with me, I can make them rethink about their attitude. I can be like, you know, should you really have said that? That was a really cool thing to do. If an adult's crappy to me, I can't be like, you really think you should have said that? Because then they get all salty with me and I'm just like, well, you're not a good person. Go away. I don't want you in my life anymore. And then, but with a kid, I can be like, hey, dude, that wasn't cool. And he's like, yeah, man, that wasn't cool. I'm sorry. And I'm like, yeah, see, that shouldn't be hard.
Oh my gosh. If a kid said something mean to me, first of all, I am terrified of that, but I would just be like, I'm going to tell Courtney. No, you did it. Telling Courtney.
Yeah, no, you did 100%. Yeah.
Rochelle, kids scare me too. Stacy, I wish I could do that with some adults. I mean, with adults though, you can just walk away like 100%. I do it all the time. There was a really good video podcast today from Brendan Bouchard, which I think you guys know. I love Brendan Bouchard. And it was how to deal with haters. And he said the number one thing was just walk away. Just, you don't need that in your environment, in your life.
Yeah. There's some teachers whose classrooms I don't even go into anymore because if they see me walking down the hall, it's like they're afraid I'm going to throw all of my technology-ness in their face or something, which I've never done in my life. And they like close the door so that I can't go into their classroom or talk to them. I'm not even joking.
That's crazy.
I'm like, all right, fine. I'm not going to help you then. But if you ask for my help, I'll totally help you. But I'm not going to go and invade your privacy. Yeah. From me to you says, Courtney, I have a great memory for conversations and faces, but unless I associate a name with a face a lot, I forget those names very easily. Yeah.
I'm not good. You know, Ben is a super extrovert and he loves meeting people and chatting with people. And like, I have like 4 friends, right? And Courtney's one of them. So I have 3 other friends. And so otherwise Ben has like 400 friends, right? And they're all his best friend versus like, I just have 4 best friends and that's it. So I think so my point is when you're an extrovert, he's extremely great at memorizing people's names. Like even when we go out to restaurants to eat, he knows the server's name, the hostess, like he knows, like I never do that. I'm like, hey, can I get an extra water or something? And he'll be like, hey, Jason, can we get this? Like, I don't do that.
Yeah. I get a little bit better. Like I'm an introverted extrovert, if that kind of makes sense. Like when we go out to places or parties, I'm totally fine. I can be as extroverted as I need to be. I can make people laugh. I can give people hugs. I can make them feel comfortable. But then I need like 2 or 3 days to be in my little hole at home to like recharge from all of the extrovertedness that I've done. Like people have tried to hang out with us this week and I'm like, no, you don't understand. I don't want to see anybody but my husband for the whole entire week. I'm not hanging out with anyone. I'm not going out. Leave me alone. Let me read and just hibernate in peace.
Yeah. You need to recover from all the extrovert activity.
Exactly. So I'm an introverted extrovert.
No, I can see that.
Oh, it looks like some Bunny is leaving. Her son goes to bed early, and he's out the door at 5 a.m. or earlier. Ooh, that's early.
Wow, that is
have a good night. See you next month. Sherry says her nephew always calls out people's names at the restaurant or at the store. That way they feel like they're human and valued. I will say that that is 100% legit a thing. I'm pretty sure that I got more of a discount on my boots that I bought last week because
Really?
I go into this shoe store quite a bit because I like shoes. And I have sort of memorized the manager's name there. Her name's Lindsay. And she's very talkative. She can talk to a door. Like, she just loves talking, which is perfectly fine. It's a judgy-free zone. I talk a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like going in and she's like, it's BOGO, you know, go get your shoes, whatever. And so I'm trying on boots because I didn't have any boots. And as I'm walking up to the place, I was like, hey girl, hey Lindsay, how you doing? And she like stopped what she was doing and she turned and she goes, you remembered my name? Girl, I almost cried. I'm like, yeah, I remembered your name. She goes, my name tag was all the way over here. There's no way you read it from that far. You remembered my name. And I was like, yeah, I did. And like, I got two pairs of boots, one like short suede ones, and then one really tall pair of boots. And then, you know, those really thick, comfortable socks that are made out of bamboo?
Yeah.
I got a 5-pack of those and another 2-pack of long ones. I spent $113. That was it.
I don't know. Is that a lot or a little for that?
$99.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was like, the BOGO wasn't that good. Like, it wasn't that good. But I swear, because I remembered her name, she gave me a discount. And I was like, that was super sweet. She didn't have to do that.
Nice. I'm going to try doing that now. Everywhere I go. Hi, Jennifer, Susan. What's your name? Tell me your name right now.
Yeah. But so we're ending. We're going through to the hour. So did you guys liked the book and everything? I will tell you. Did anybody see the post that I got on one of my comments on my YouTube channel? I posted it like everywhere because I was so flippin' excited. But Ellery Adams posted on one of my videos and was like, hey, if mine wins, I'll do a giveaway of a teapot. And guys, so I was like, okay, cool. And I shared it with everyone. I asked Lisa first. I was like, listen, I don't want to sway anybody's votes. Of course, Ellery Adams is my vote because she would always be my vote. But I was like, this is really cool. I want to share it. And Lisa's like, girl, share it.
Yeah.
Share it with everyone.
Totally.
And I was like, okay. So then I did the math. So today I did the math on all 3 of the places that we did our poll. You know, we do it on Twitter, we do it on our YouTube account, and we do it on my community page. I added all of those together and I averaged them out. Murder is Binding got 15%. Murder by the Book got 25%. Elementary She Read got 26%. And A Killer Plot got 34%. So, I don't think I have it in here. A Killer Plot is our cozy mystery book club book for November. So super excited. I swear I had it in here.
And this is the first giveaway we've had where someone's giving away stuff. Usually we just get a book, which not complaining, but that's really like cool.
She was so excited. And I don't know, did I show you what she's thinking of or of what she wants to give away? Should I keep that a secret? Like what she's should I keep it a secret or should I show you guys? Because she sent me a picture like last night. She like sent me a random picture. I don't know. I've got people saying it. I love Ellery Adams.
It's your reward for showing up live. And honestly, if you're watching the replay, it's your reward for making it through the 53 minutes.
Yes. Okay. So this is the teapot.
That is so cute. That looks just like the cover.
It's just like the cover. How freaking cool is that? So that's the teapot that we will be giving away next month at the end of our live stream. So make sure you pick up A Killer Plot by Ellery Adams. You won't regret it because literally anything that Ellery Adams writes is flipping gold. And I learned like, I don't know, 2-3 days ago that she has so many freaking pseudonyms that I've read before, but I didn't know it was her. And she just is an amazing writing genius.
I think she really likes book clubs too, because I think I saw on her site she actually has reading questions for some of her series.
Yeah, she does. It's pretty freaking cool. She reached out to me, guys. I didn't even reach out to her. Normally, Lisa and I try and reach out to the author saying, hey, we're doing a book club and stuff, but she commented on my YouTube video. I like freaked out. I fangirled, and I was so excited. So excited.
I bet if we asked her, she'll write some book club questions for us for the book.
Ooh, I should totally ask her to do that.
Yeah, that would be fun to like go through the author's questions.
Yes. People are so excited.
Yeah, so cute. Chris, wow, I drink tea and that is so cute. How generous. Yeah, Rochelle, so pretty. So cute. A lighthouse. Well, don't go yet because we still have a giveaway. So
yes, we do have a giveaway. Don't go yet. Lisa says she picked it up today because she knew it was going to win. So we do have a giveaway. So Lisa, take it away.
All right. So Elizabeth Stan Craig is generously offered to give away one of her books. I think the second book in this series is not out. So she's going to give you a book from a different series. So today what we're going to do, because we have people on YouTube and we have people on Crowdcast, and I feel bad like they're not both there. So we are just I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like left to right. So I just need 2 numbers. Rochelle, are you still here? You want to give me a number? And then on YouTube, who's still here? Lisa Ashby, give me a number. I'm going to get out my calculator because I am bad at math.
So Rochelle gave you 32.
Rochelle gave me 32. Okay.
Yes.
And Lisa?
Lisa hasn't given the number yet because there's probably a little bit of a lag between YouTube and Crowdcast. But I know
she's calculating. It's hard to tell too because I could multiply the numbers, I could add them, I could subtract them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, which one are you going to do?
And will I even do the math correctly? I mean, there's so many factors.
Come on, Lisa, where are you? Where are you?
Probably she ran out and got a tea. All this tea talk. She's like, I'm going to replenish my tea.
Okay, so the last person to comment on YouTube was Lou. So if Lisa doesn't give one, Lou, give one.
Trish, math is hard. It is hard.
It's so hard. Okay, Lisa gave 7.
Okay. So we're going to do 32 minus 7, which is 25. So I'm going to count left and right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I need to scroll. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Scrolling. 22. I lost count. Oops, it's fine. 22, 23, 24, and 25. It actually landed on Rochelle.
Rochelle, congratulations.
So all you have to do is send me your mailing address, and then I will forward that on to the author, and you will, in theory, magically have books in the mail soon.
As one should.
Yeah. Oh, should we announce too, just in case, so people have time, we are doing the November Chit Chat early. So you have less time to read the November book. So it's going to be in 3 weeks on November 20th.
Yes. And the reason why is because the last Wednesday of the month is right before Thanksgiving and people are traveling and having family time and things like that. So, yeah, we're going to be meeting early in November.
And then it's up to you. Do we want to announce December or wait?
Let's wait to announce December because I want to I want to dress up.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Oh, and don't forget, you should sign up for Secret Santa. So I think we have like 12 people signed up. And I can't remember what the deadline is. It's not till November, but this way it'll be in plenty of time at the beginning of next month that you can shop for some Black Friday deals and send them out to your Secret Santa person. So
yes, super excited.
Yeah.
We've got a lot going on in November, and we've got a lot going on in December too, because, you know, we love you guys and we want to make it as cozy and awesome as possible. Yeah. But, ooh, we are just at 60 minutes. Look at us go.
We're so good.
Yeah, we are. Teamwork. All right, guys. So I think that we're good. Good night. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with Lisa and I and the cozy crew here. And I think that we're going to, oh, Sherry says, what is the Secret Santa on YouTube?
Oh, Secret Santa is, we should do a video on it. When your Christmas gear comes in, we'll do a video on what Secret Santa is. But basically, all you have to do is sign up. And I forget what the dollar denomination is, but we're all just going to get assigned Secret Santas randomly. And then we're going to give out things. And then we're going to open them in our December call together.
Yes. So the next book is A Killer Plot by Ellery Adams. So I thought that I had it in here with me, but apparently I do not. It's in my living room. But yes, A Killer Plot by Ellery Adams. But I think that that's good. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Ending broadcast.